Hello everyone. Today I welcome you on behalf of Rasa International School. Today we will study Science chapter number 9, class ninth, Forces and Laws of Motion, which is on book page number 118 to 121. Today we will study Newton's second law of motion. In Newton's first law of motion, we have studied that whenever an unbalanced force is applied on an object, there is a change in its velocity and there will be an acceleration in the body. So let us discuss how the acceleration in the body or the change in the velocity of the body is dependent on the force applied, and how we can calculate that force with this change which has been happen or created in the body with the force, that is the unbalanced force. So let us discuss about some of the observations from the our day to day life. Okay, so the some observations. First of all, during the table tennis game, player may get hit with the table tennis ball, but it is not been hurt. On the other hand, in the cricket, a fast moving ball, if hits the spectator, it may hurt him. Similarly, a truck standing on the roadside, okay, which is not moving, which has been parked on the roadside, is not need so much of attention, while a truck moving even at slow speed at 5 meter per second may kill the person if it hit him. On the other hand, a small mass such as a bullet may kill a person when being fired from a gun. Means here the mass is small but moving at high velocity. So we can say that the impact is dependent on both mass and velocity, not on individually on mass or velocity. Similarly, if an object is to be accelerated, we need a greater force is required to give a greater velocity. Means अगर आपको ज़्यादा velocity पैदा करनी है किसी object में, तो आपको ज़्यादा force लगानी होगी. In other words, there appears to exist some quantity of importance that combines the object mass and velocity. One such property is called momentum, was introduced by Newton, and momentum is defined as the product of mass and velocity. So momentum is nothing but the product of mass and velocity. Here we can see that. And momentum has both magnitude and direction, means it is a vector quantity. And its unit is, for mass it is kg, and for velocity it is meter per second. So its complete unit is kg meter per second. Since the application of unbalanced force bring a change in the velocity of the object, it therefore, okay, that the force also produce the change in momentum. Means whenever the force applied on an object, there is a change in velocity and the change in momentum, because momentum is product of mass and velocity. So there is some initial momentum, means when the body is at rest or in with some uniform motion or having some speed in a particular direction. When the force is applied, then there is a change in velocity, and which leads to change in momentum. Let us consider a situation in which a car with a dead battery is to be pushed along a straight road to give it a speed of 1 meter per second, which is sufficient to start its engine. तो हम एक केस ले लेते हैं जहाँ पे कार की बैटरी डेड हो गई है और हम उसको पुश कर रहे हैं, और हमें मालूम है कि अगर उसके अंदर स्पीड आ जाए 1 मीटर पर सेकेंड इन अ पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन, तो हम उसको स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं, उसका इंजन स्टार्ट हो सकता है. इफ वन or two person give a sudden push unbalanced force to it, it is being hardly start, but a continuous push over the some time results in the gradual acceleration of the car to this speed. It means that the change in momentum of the car is not only determined by the magnitude of the force but also by the time for which the force is being applied. मतलब जो चेंज इन मोमेंटम है वो सिर्फ मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ फोर्स पे डिपेंडेंट नहीं है कि कितना चेंज होगा, वो इस पे भी डिपेंडेंट है कि कितनी देर तक आप उसने को आपके द्वारा वो फोर्स लगाई गई है. Means that force is applied for what duration on that object. It may then also be concluded that the force necessary change the momentum of the object depends on the time rate at which the momentum is changed. That is, it is dependent on rate change of momentum. So Newton's second law states that the rate change of momentum of an object is proportional to the unbalanced force applied in the particular direction on the object. Now mathematically we can get this as the change in momentum is final momentum minus initial momentum. The final momentum is basically dependent on final velocity and initial momentum depend on initial velocity. So let us consider a body of mass m moving on a straight line road having initial velocity u and uniformly accelerated with velocity, okay, accelerated to a velocity v, which is the final velocity, and the force is applied for a time period of t, and the f is the force applied. Then the change in momentum is final momentum minus initial momentum, that is mv minus mu. Take m as common, so it will be v minus u into m. The rate change of momentum means with respect to time, so we have divided it by time for which the force is applied. Now, as the proportionality sign is removed, a constant has been introduced, that is k, and it has been further calculated that value of k is 1. And here you can see that v minus u upon t is nothing but acceleration. So we can write force equal to k into mass into acceleration, where k is a constant. And it has been further calculated that the value of k is 1. Okay, so the value of k become 1. So our equation will become F is equal to ma. Now you can calculate the quantity, okay, means the exact value of force which has been applied to bring that change in the body, and that force is the unbalanced force. Unit of force is mass unit is kg, and velocity acceleration unit is meter per second square, so its final unit is kg meter per second square, and also can be written as Newton. Now motion gives us the matter to measure the force acting on the object. Means here we have discussed how we can measure the force with the help of the motion of the body, and it is dependent on rate change of momentum. So it is day-to-day example of Newton's second law of motion is when a player catches a ball. So while catching a ball, he moves his hand backward as to increase the time period for which he is applying the force, that is the stopping force, to stop the ball. If we increase the time period to stop the force, to stop the ball by applying the constant force, then the impact on the hand will be less. So if he stop it in a smaller period of time, the impact will be more. So this is what about the application of Newton's second law of motion. So thank you, and admissions are open for class playgroup to class 9th. You can contact on the mentioned numbers on your screen. We will continue